So, after a Googleplex years of waiting, the FNaF movie has finally come out. I watched this movie on its release day with my dad, and it was quite interesting. Its reviews have been so great that I couldn't wait to review it myself. That's what we're doing today. Before we start, I want to specify that there will be spoilers in here, so please stop watching if you haven't seen it. Let's begin. The plot of this movie was really weird. For the first 20 minutes, everything's just exposition. This part was so slow and boring that I wanted to die. I get that we need to know all this stuff, but it could have been summarized in 5 minutes or less. If you don't know what happened, basically, our main character Mike is broken into a job. He might lose custody of his little sister Abby. He gets a job offer at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and his brother was kidnapped and never seen again when he was 12. I literally summarized all of that in less than 10 seconds. After that uninteresting half hour, we finally get to the good stuff. By good, I mean boring. When he accepts the job offer and gets to Freddy Fazbear's, the movie continues being sluggish. Mike explores the pizzeria in a moment that's supposed to be scary, but just comes across as forced. It's the same with that weird dream sequence with the kids. It's supposed to be a thrilling chase sequence, but it ends up being a confusing mess. Also, Mike's question of who his brother's killer is entirely predictable. It was Shaggy Rogers all along. Like, whoa, Scoobs. The bad guys in this movie are so Disney-esque. Mike's aunt, aka the girl who's trying to take custody of Abby, is basically just Cruella DeVille. She even has her goons being her lawyer, Abby's babysitter, and her brother. Heck, she has the leopard print jacket. In the scene where Cruella talks to her goons at the diner, I feel that MatPat's cameo was very forced. That's right, MatPat had a moment. And who did see that coming? He wasn't bad in the role, but the fact that he had to say it's just a theory made me cringe. On night 2, we got yet another dream sequence. This was basically the same thing as the last one, but instead of Mike tripping on a rock like an idiot, he catches one of the kids. The kid cuts him, and this somehow translates into the real world. Also, this amazing scene happens. What?
He got some eye tattoos.
After this mess, a police officer named Vanessa arrives at the door. She shows them around the place and tells them about the missing children's incident. This part's really awkward. It feels like the movie's trying to create chemistry between her and Mike, but it ends up falling flat on its face. For example, she asks him if he wants to dance right after they had met in a way that's indescribably weird.
Wanna dance?
Wanna dance? What?
What, was Brie Larson not available for the role? After whatever the heck that was, we see the bad guys again. In this scene, they try to rob Freddy Fazbear's after Mike had already left in an attempt to get him fired, which makes total sense. Long story short, they all get murdered. In an act of pure mercy, Abby's babysitter was literally chopped in half. At least she got out of that crap show. The scene's hilarious as these burglars are so stupid. Abby's babysitter literally put her head inside of Freddy's mouth for no reason. These guys had what was coming to them. Vanessa blames Mike for this as she claims that he didn't lock the door. This is ridiculous as the robbers pretty obviously got in by using a crowbar. I swear, the characters of this movie are just so darn stupid. On the third night, Mike has to bring Abby as her babysitter was cut in half the night before. Mike, of course, has another dream sequence. This time, he talks to Freddy's ghost about the identity of his brother's killer, because he for some reason assumes that he knows. Freddy's ghost ominously says that he needs something in return and then straight up disappears. This scene isn't bad, it's just weird. After this, Mike wakes up and finds that Abby's playing with animatronics. Mike's response to this is very understandable as he immediately rushes her out and goes home. On the fourth night, Mike goes back because he's stupid. Since the animatronics and Abby are now friends, they decide to build a fort out of tables and chairs. There's a whole montage where they do this and it has 80s music for some reason. This part, just like most of the movie, is just odd. When I was watching this, I was just thinking,
why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Mike and Vanessa then decide to explore a bit. They find a closet and Mike discovers that spring locks exist and are dangerous. He asks Vanessa what would happen if Abby found them and she gets mad at him for no reason. I've noticed that she isn't the most stable person in this movie. We'll get to see more of that later. After this, we get another scene with random 80s music. This time, it's a dance scene. Abby somehow gets electrocuted by Bonnie's guitar here. This is just so random and I still wonder why it happened. Maybe the guitar's magical? The world may never know. Before they go home, Vanessa stops Mike to tell him that he's stupid. She says that he should never bring Abby there again and literally threatens to murder him if he does.
But if you ever bring Abby back here again, I will shoot you.
Well, he is stupid. I think it was unwarranted of her to randomly lash out on him. I mean, how the heck was he supposed to know that the place was dangerous before that night? Because Mike was threatened by a police officer, he now cannot bring Abby to the pizzeria, which is probably for the better. He gets Cruella to watch her, and she's really mad, and for good reasons too. Mike goes to the pizzeria, and we get yet another weird dream sequence. He bargains with Mr. Freddy Fazbear again, and this time, Freddy actually tries making a deal. He says that he'll let Mike dream of his brother every night in return for the ability to butcher Abby. Mike obviously says no, and is immediately beat up and almost murdered. I'm not gonna lie, Freddy Fazbear isn't a very good businessman. Mike gets out of Freddy's trap as it was poorly constructed. After this, the movie gets really weird. Freddy Fazbear literally appears at Abby and Mike's house so he can ask her to come with him so he can unalive her. I'm so confused. If Freddy could come to her house at any time, why didn't he do that in the first place? Freddy murders Cruella, which is a plus in my book. Is Freddy Fazbear gonna murder her? No way! Oh my god! And they get into a taxi. Nobody ever mentions her untimely demise ever again, even though her mangled corpse would have just been found chilling in Mike's living room. Mike wakes up in a bed where Vanessa's taking care of him. She explains the convoluted lore of FNaF to him and tells him to go save Abby, but she refuses to go as she's an actual coward. Also, William Afton somehow manipulating the animatronics into being evil. Don't ask me how. Also, she gives him an electrocuting weapon, so that's neat. This scene is another awkward one. Mike and Vanessa's actors have no chemistry at all. That combined with Vanessa's rampant emotions make this unbearable to watch. Mr. Mike goes into the pizzeria through a vent and electrocutes Freddy, Bon Bon, and Chica. He saves Abby but is stopped by the stupid cupcake. It somehow has a mind of its own and starts biting his leg. I don't know how any of this works. Ask Scott Cawthon, I'm sure he'll make something up. In another dumb scene, Mike electrocutes the cupcake and runs. I swear, I'm losing my mind just talking about this. In the meanwhile, Abby hides from Foxy in a ball pit that's probably coated in 30-year-old urine. She's about to be caught by him, but is saved by Vanessa, who finally decided to stop being a scumbag. William Afton appears in the Spring Bonnie costume and has super strength now. I wasn't lying when I said that this movie was interesting. He beats up Mike and tries to kill him. I have no idea why he does this, as he doesn't seem to have any motives. He reveals that he was both Vanessa's dad and Norval's Shaggy Rogers all along, which was entirely predictable. Vanessa proceeds to freaking shoot him, but he's somehow okay. He stabs her, so that's cool. Eventually, Abby draws a picture of Spring Bonnie murdering children, and this causes the animatronics to become immediately mad. This also makes the pizzeria crumble, which just... I don't even know what to say anymore. The stupid cupcake jumps at him, causing his spring locks to fail and him to die. The movie ends with Mike and Abby doing alright. Vanessa's in a hospital bed, but is otherwise okay. We get a cliffhanger where we see William twitching in his Spring Bonnie suit as Scott Cawthon needs more money. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to sit through a FNaF 2. This movie was just too boring. The FNaF 1 song by The Living Tombstone played through the credits, as was entirely predictable. Before we end this review, I want to talk about some things that I liked about this movie. The sets were really well designed. From the animatronics, that stupid creepy balloon boy toy, everything looked pretty good. That's all I can think of. Now to the bad things. First of all, it was boring. For the first hour or so, basically nothing happens. We don't even see the animatronics until around the 20-minute mark. Part of this movie just feels like a crappy drama with some horror elements sprinkled in. Second of all, the villains should have done with some more depth. For example, Cruella should have been more than just a mean old hag. She just has no personality and it drives me insane. Also, Abby's babysitter should have been expanded on. I feel that she shouldn't have been killed straight away. Maybe instead of her being cut in half, she should have gotten a redemption or something of the sort. What they did with her was just really stupid. Third of all, William Afton should have had a motive. For the entire movie, he tries to kill people and it's never explained why. He was very one-dimensional and deserved more. Fourth of all, Vanessa could have had a better emotional state. While I was watching this movie, I was confused on whether she was supposed to be awkward, mad, sad, loving, or all of them at the same time. One moment she seems like she's in love with Mike, and the next she seems like she wants to murder him. Finally, nothing in this movie makes sense. There are just so many nonsensical things in this movie that should have been explained. I would give you a list, but it would be too long. I might just die and become an animatronic while writing it. In conclusion, this movie was weird. Nothing really made sense and I wanted to die throughout the whole thing. Just listen to my dad's review of it.
2 stars, would not come back.
No, actually give me something.
It was terrible.
Personally, I don't think that the movie was the worst thing in the world. It definitely wasn't good though. I'd say that it was quite mediocre. I think that I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10. What do you think of this movie? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, like, and hit the notifications bell if you like this video, and if you didn't, just don't. And I'm Kylojase, and this is the end of this video. Bye!